once more, you shouldn't be training legs to get lean, and you shouldn't be training legs to get abs. And if you are, you're probably on the pathway to Sad Town. Simon Middleboard A-hole here, and I have a very strained throat. So when I try and do my usual enthusiasm, oh my gosh, isn't everything amazing? I'm going to struggle. And instead, it sounds like I've been smoking, I don't know, 32 cigarettes a day, which is actually not the case, because if you care, I've never even tried a cigarette. However, today I want to talk about a video from Don Saladino, or Saladino, as I have written down here, who I believe is a personal trainer to the stars, the Hollywood guys. Because somebody sent me this, and the title was, "The Most Important Thing You Aren't Doing to Gain Muscle and Lose Fat." So I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. I wonder what he's going to talk about. And when I went through the video, my eyebrow went up as if I was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And as always, when that does happen, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to talk about it. Let's go.
All right, guys. So the number one question that I get asked on why I feel like your physique is not transforming at the rate that you want it to is because you're not approaching your leg training with the same intensity that you're approaching your other training.
Right, so that's the first 15 seconds. I'm like, yes, I totally agree with that. I mean, the best way I've ever seen anybody put this was actually Chris Bumstead, who obviously is smashing the Mr. Olympia stage at the moment, when he said he understands that when you train legs, you have to be so intense and you have to put so much into it that he's actually a little bit intimidated and he actually gets a little bit anxious. And when you kind of take that and put it in your own brain, it goes to show you how crazy you do have to go when it comes to training your legs. Now, as ever, remember, you don't have to do this, but if you are really looking to see growth and progress when it does come to your legs, of course you have to train it harder than other parts of your body, because these two pins are what keep you up. So when you're walking around or you just stood there, whatever the hell you may be doing, you are putting a tremendous weight on those things. So if all of a sudden you're going to try and stimulate them for growth, you're going to have to go absolutely more crazy than you would do with other muscle parts. So like I say, that is good advice. Always make sure you're training intensely anyway, but when it comes to your leg, double it, triple it, quadruple it, whatever you need to do in order to get the gains.
Leg training is not the same as going and running and doing cardio or biking or whatever the hell else you are doing, stairs or whatever it is.
And once again, that's also good information, because while I think it's only a small number of people, you do get a group that believe that, well, I don't need to train my legs because, again, I'm doing cardio, I'm doing the static bike, I'm doing this and that. And obviously, when you do see cyclists, they have massive calves. So I'm not saying that if you're not cycling every day, you're not going to see some kind of development there, but it shouldn't be an either or. Like if you are doing cycling and you're into bodybuilding, you're into lifting weights, you shouldn't be ignoring your legs. So once again, this is like the first 23 seconds of the video. I thought this is on point. It's nice, simple advice, but hopefully if you are a beginner or kind of you've lost your way a bit, it's just going to slap you around the face and remind you that yes, when it comes to legs, it's time to pulverize them.
You need to train legs separately with resistance. So first off, resistance training is gonna raise your basal metabolic rate, which means you're gonna burn more fat calories through resistance training than you are through cardio.
But that's when I got thrown. Now, yes, it is going to raise your metabolic rate. But in no world do I ever think, like he's just gone the other way. He's done a 180. Much as you shouldn't rely on cardio in order to have muscle development, I don't believe that you should. What was his exact quote? I've got it written down here. I don't think that you should be relying on burning more calories by doing resistance training compared to cardio. Now, I'm not saying that if you don't have a killer leg workout, you're not going to burn some calories. You are. But is it going to be as much as if you do some steady state cardio, even on a cross trainer, which is quite light on your joints, etc.? I mean, I don't think that's true in any sense of the word. And I'm sure you can find an example where it is. But if we are talking about basic stuff, cardio for burning calories and losing fat and doing all that kind of thing, going to the gym in order to build muscle, that, in my opinion, my very humble, stupid opinion, is always the best way to approach it. I mean, the Ghostbusters said this, you don't want to cross the streams. And if all of a sudden you do start incorporating leg training in order to burn calories, I don't think you're going to get where you want to go, depending on what your goals are. Of course, if you don't care about dropping your calories down, you don't care about losing fat, then you don't need to worry about this. But I don't, again, it's just my opinion, right? As I've already said, but I want to make that clear because you may have your own thoughts about this. I just don't think that's very good advice. And if you did stumble across this video and hear that, I know what people do. Nobody actually likes doing cardio, and there's a few individuals that do. All of a sudden you go, well, I'm not going to do it anymore, and I'm just going to train legs. And I don't think that's going to help you. I really, really don't. I think you should be doing cardio to burn calories, like I say, and then leg training, because of course you should be doing training. You should be doing push-pull legs rest, push-pull leg rest. That to me is the greatest training split you could do.
So remember, when you're training your legs, you are getting this fat burning effect that is very difficult to achieve with any type of cardio you're doing, because leg training just gets so intense.
Now, I don't want to get into that too specifically because maybe if you do train your legs hard, your body burns fat in a different way. But I'm going to be hard pushed to believe that you're burning more fat for all the reasons I just went into. And the real shame is that it's only a 2-minute video. So how I've managed to make it an 8-minute video on YouTube, I do not know, but that's just the nature of the beast. But I think he needed to go into more about what he was talking about because it's all good raising your basal metabolic rate. You do that with lots of different kind of exercises. That's not you don't have to double down when it comes to leg training about that. And again, even so, if you're like an advanced lifter, you may be able to take advantage of this more. But I find most people that consume fitness information or go to fitness YouTubers especially, they don't want that. They just want to know the black from the white and the white from the black. Give it to them simple. Give it to them on the simplest level possible so then they can extrapolate that and apply it to their own routines. But just no. That's all I've got. It's the anti-Brian Danielson or Daniel Bryan. It's no.
It requires your entire body to have to engage for you to produce a level of tension.
And that's also true. It absolutely is true. You have to be 100% on your game to have a decent leg session. But let's be honest. Let's say you do 52 or maybe 104 leg sessions a year. If you are training them twice a week, are you really going to be hitting it massively hard and at the point that you should do every single time? If you're a professional bodybuilder or, someone's paying you millions and millions of dollars to be in a movie, then you will because you have that added motivation. But I think for most of us who just want to live a health and fitness lifestyle, maybe up to 30-40% of the time, you're going to walk away from legs going, man, I didn't do it to the level that was required. And that doesn't mean you should beat yourself up about that. That's just the life. Sometimes you have a good day at work, sometimes you have a less good day at work. And it's the same in the gym. But this just ties into what I've said, and I'll keep saying over and over again, because that's the point of the video. If you go and sacrifice cardio, whatever this magic voodoo fat burning process is when you come to doing your leg training, you ain't going to get it. So now not only are you not training your legs hard enough, so you're not seeing growth there, you completely abandon your cardio. So, let's even forget calories. The reason you should be doing cardio is it's good for your heart. And what's the most important muscle in your body? Heart.
And you are getting some of the best abdominal work that you'll ever receive through training your lower bodies.
And he just said abdominal work as well. Now, leg training is going to help your core, but I just think the use of wordage there is bad. If you say abdominal training, people are going to think, well, if I train legs, I'm going to get abs. And never forget, you don't have to do a single piece of weightlifting to get abs because abs are made in the kitchen.
So exercises like squats, deadlifts, lunges, split squats. There's so many different variations of these exercises.
And that's fair, that's good. Like any other body part you're training, you should find the exercises you do want to do. Although I would say you should do lunges, walking lunges, static lunges, whatever the hell you want to do, because they're so bad and they suck so much. And the reason they are so bad and the reason they do suck so much is because they're great. They're a great muscle builder. And the reason you're not going to like them is because they hurt like hell. I hate lunges. I actually hate them. If they somehow managed to become a person, I'd walk over to them and I'd punch them right in the face.
It's your job to find what's best for you. I'm not telling everyone has to put a bar on their back and back squat, but we can do a bodyweight squat. We can do a goblet squat. There's different types of squats. And for those of you who say that squatting's bad for you, well, no, because we have to sit on the toilet and use the bathroom every single day.
And that may be the single weirdest comparison I've ever heard in my life. Squats are fine for you because you need to sit on the toilet. Now, I get what he's saying. It's the same kind of movement. But when you're squatting and sat on the toilet, all your weight is taken by the toilet seat, so you're not putting any pressure on your legs. Now, I've said it time and time again. Do I think you should be squatting? Yes, because I think it's a terrific exercise. But even if it's not the squat that is contributing to the pain, maybe you've just got crappy technique. So if you really, really, really can't get over that technique and nobody can teach it to you, no, you don't need to do squats. Again, you're going to massively benefit if you can do them, but you not being in pain is more important. Now, it doesn't mean we have to put the blame directly on the squats. It may just be you. Some people struggle with certain exercises, but given that a lot of people, when they do squats, are going to put a tremendous amount of weight on the back, again, just be simple with this stuff. If you feel like you're putting yourself under undue pressure and you just can't learn it, don't do it.
Get your lower body training in at least 1 day a week. You do not have to be turning around and training at such a high intensity that you can't walk the next day.
And that throws me as well. He's telling you to absolutely smash your legs in order to get a fat burning, wave going through your body. But you don't have to train so intense that you can't walk the next day. Now, I'm not saying that you should ever get to the point where you can't walk, but I would hazard a guess that if you are promoting this, you should be telling your audience, well, you better wake up and have some serious bad DOMs, to the point that going upstairs and, any kind of pressure is absolutely making you go, oh, I hate my life. So this is what I mean. It's just very, very strange messages, which is why, including my own videos, you should always take them with a pinch of salt. Don't assume that anybody knows what they're 100% talking about, no matter what their experience is, because you don't know where they're coming from.
You might get leaner. Your abs might get a lot better. You are going to get a lot stronger.
And like there, you might get leaner. Your abs may get better. Now, he's saying may and question mark, but when it comes to strength, he says you are going to get stronger, which makes sense, of course, if you push it with the legs. Like any other muscle group, you are going to get stronger there. But just dropping those two things in, once more, you shouldn't be training legs to get lean, and you shouldn't be training legs to get abs. And if you are, you're probably on the pathway to Sad Town.
And I think in the long run, your bodies are going to look a lot better and you're going to feel a lot better. Hope you like that one.
I think that one's good. You probably will look and feel better. But yeah, this strange meme that leg day has become really does find itself in some weird places. I think I've already said my piece, so I draw a line under it here. But basically, if you want my too long didn't read, which is ridiculous because it's at the end of the video, train legs to work your legs. Also, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe with the bell ding ding so when other videos are going live. There will be a video on the screen. Click that, leave a comment, and leave a like as well, because YouTube love that. It helps the algorithm, which I need right now for things I don't need to get into. Also, GorillaMind.com/Simon. There's a link in the description below. Use code Simon, get 10% off everything, including Gorilla Mind's brand new test booster. Check me out on Instagram at Simon316 and look at my story today if you want more information about that. Also, my favorite pre-workout that ever has existed. In Greg Doucette's Power 13 cookbook, use code Simon15 to get 15% off that. Again, it's just a bunch of recipes to try and help you with your diet. It's not just chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice. Patreon.com/Simon316 if you want to support me with money. Let's just be honest. I'm on Cameo if you want a shout out. Simon.bigcartel.com for merch. And give me a follow on social media at SimonMiller316 on all platforms. Otherwise, the thing I appreciate most is your time. See you soon.